If you took all the water out of your brain and looked at what's left, most of it would be fat. Then you'd find some proteins, amino acids, tiny bits of micronutrients, and glucose. Your brain is more than just these parts, but each one affects how you think, feel, and your energy levels. So that sleepy feeling after lunch or being wide awake late at night, that might just be your food talking to your brain. The best fats for your brain are omega-3 and omega-6. You have to get these from your diet, from foods like nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. They're super important for keeping your brain cell membranes healthy. While these omegas are good, eating too much trans or saturated fat can hurt your brain in the long run. Proteins and amino acids are like building blocks. They change how you feel and act. Amino acids contain the stuff that makes neurotransmitters, which are chemicals that send messages between your brain cells. These chemicals affect your mood, sleep, how focused you are, and even your weight. That's why a big plate of pasta might make you feel calm, or a protein-rich meal makes you feel more awake. The different things in food can make your brain cells release mood-changing chemicals like norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. But it's not easy for amino acids to get to your brain cells as they have to compete for access. Eating a mix of foods helps keep these brain messengers balanced, which stops your mood from going too far in one direction. Just like the rest of your body, your brain needs a steady supply of micronutrients. Fruits and vegetables have antioxidants that help protect your brain cells from damage, keeping your brain healthier for longer. Without important micronutrients like vitamins B6, B12, and folic acid, our brains would be more likely to get diseases and have mental problems. Small amounts of iron, copper, zinc, and sodium are also key for brain health and early brain growth. For your brain to use these good nutrients, it needs a lot of fuel. Even though your brain is only about 2% of your body weight, it uses up to 20% of your energy. Most of this energy comes from carbs that your body turns into glucose or blood sugar. Your frontal lobes are so sensitive to drops in glucose that a change in how you think is one of the main signs you're not getting enough nutrients. Assuming you're getting glucose regularly, how do different types of carbs affect your brain? Carbs come as starch, sugar, and fiber. Even though nutrition labels often just give a total carb count, the amount of sugar and fiber in that total changes how your body and brain react. Something like white bread, which is high on the glycemic index, makes your blood sugar shoot up quickly, then it crashes. When your blood sugar drops, so does your focus and mood. On the other hand, oats, grains, and beans release glucose slowly. This keeps your attention levels steadier. To keep your brain working well consistently, it's really important to eat a variety of nutrient-rich foods. What you eat has a direct and lasting effect on your brain, which is the most powerful organ in your body. Your brain is built from food. Literally, if all the water were removed from your brain and you examined what remained, you would find that most of it is fat, along with proteins, amino acids, micronutrients, and glucose. Although the brain is far more complex than its raw materials, each of these components plays a direct role in shaping how you think, feel, focus, and function. That familiar mid-afternoon crash, the sudden burst of energy late at night, or subtle shifts in mood and motivation may not be random at all. They are often your diet communicating directly with your brain. The human brain is made up of nearly 60% fat, and the type of fat you consume matters deeply. Omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are especially vital because the body cannot produce them on its own. Found in foods like fatty fish, nuts, seeds, and plant oils, these fats help maintain flexible, healthy brain cell membranes, allowing neurons to communicate efficiently. Over time, however, excessive intake of trans fats and saturated fats can damage brain health by increasing inflammation and raising the risk of cognitive decline. Healthy fats, by contrast, support memory, learning, and emotional stability. Proteins play a powerful role in brain chemistry by breaking down into amino acids, which serve as the building blocks for neurotransmitters. These chemical messengers regulate mood, sleep, attention, and motivation. Dopamine influences reward and drive, serotonin contributes to calmness and emotional balance, and norepinephrine supports alertness and focus. This is why a protein-rich meal often leaves you feeling mentally sharp and energized, while a meal heavy in refined carbohydrates may make you feel relaxed or sleepy. Because amino acids must compete to cross into the brain, eating a balanced variety of foods helps keep neurotransmitters in proper balance and prevents emotional extremes. In addition to fats and proteins, the brain relies on a steady supply of micronutrients to function optimally and protect itself from damage. Vitamins such as B6, B12, and folate are essential for brain development and long-term mental health, while minerals like iron, zinc, copper, and sodium support oxygen delivery, neural signaling, and early brain growth. Fruits and vegetables provide antioxidants that shield brain cells from oxidative stress, helping preserve cognitive function as you age. When these micronutrients are lacking, the risk of mood disorders, cognitive decline, and neurological disease increases. Despite accounting for only about 2% of total body weight, the brain consumes up to 20% of the body's daily energy. This energy comes primarily from glucose, which is derived from carbohydrates. The frontal lobes responsible for decision-making, focus, and self-control are especially sensitive to drops in blood sugar. As a result, difficulty concentrating or thinking clearly is often one of the earliest signs that the brain is not receiving enough nutritional fuel. Not all carbohydrates affect the brain in the same way. High glycemic foods such as white bread and sugary snacks cause rapid spikes in blood glucose followed by sudden crashes, leading to fatigue, irritability, and brain fog. In contrast, carbohydrates from oats, whole grains, beans, and vegetables release glucose gradually, providing a steady supply of energy that supports sustained focus, emotional balance, and mental clarity throughout the day. Ultimately, the brain is not separate from what you eat. It is shaped by it every day. A diet rich in healthy fats, adequate protein, essential micronutrients, and slow digesting carbohydrates helps protect cognitive function, stabilize mood, and sustain energy over the long term. What you eat does far more than fuel your body. It builds, powers, and preserves the most complex and powerful organ you possess. Beyond nutrients themselves, when and how you eat also shapes brain function. Irregular meals, long gaps without food, or constant grazing on processed snacks can confuse the brain's energy regulation systems. The brain thrives on predictability. Consistent meals help stabilize blood glucose, reduce stress hormone release, and support clearer thinking. Skipping meals may temporarily increase alertness through adrenaline, but over time it leads to fatigue, irritability, and impaired concentration. Hormones act as powerful messengers between food and the brain. Insulin helps move glucose into brain cells, while cortisol, the stress hormone, rises when blood sugar drops too low. Chronic spikes in cortisol, often caused by poor diet, excessive sugar, or undereating, can shrink memory-related brain regions and disrupt emotional regulation. Balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, and fiber help keep hormones in check, protecting both mood and memory. The gut also plays a surprisingly large role in brain health. Trillions of microbes living in your digestive system help produce neurotransmitters, regulate inflammation, and communicate with the brain through the gut-brain axis. Diets rich in fiber, fermented foods, and plant diversity support a healthier microbiome, which is linked to reduced anxiety, improved mood, and sharper cognition. Highly processed foods, on the other hand, disrupt gut balance and may increase the risk of depression and brain fog. Hydration is another often overlooked factor in mental performance. Even mild dehydration can reduce attention, slow reaction time, and impair short-term memory. Because the brain is mostly water, fluid balance directly affects the electrical signaling between neurons. Drinking enough water throughout the day supports clearer thinking, better mood regulation, and sustained mental energy. Over the long term, diet influences not just daily performance, but also brain aging. Diets rich in whole foods, omega-3 fats, antioxidants, and micronutrients are associated with a lower risk of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. In contrast, diets high in sugar and ultra-processed foods accelerate inflammation and oxidative stress, contributing to faster cognitive decline. Ultimately, feeding your brain well is an investment in your future self. Every meal sends chemical signals that either support resilience, clarity, and emotional balance, or slowly undermine them. The brain adapts to what it is given repeatedly, not occasionally. By choosing nutrient-dense foods consistently, you give your brain the materials it needs to think clearly today and remain strong for years to come.